My background is in English literature, so in a way that's the kind of first love, as I've mentioned. I started in journalism, so I am quite familiar being on the opposite side of this exchange, putting a story out and communicating. I think that is underlying a lot of the work that I've done. So from journalism, I moved to the tourism board where again, the idea of thinking, how do you present a story to people? How do you reach out to someone who doesn't understand Singapore, has never been to Singapore? How do you make the destination attractive? When I joined the Arts Council, I headed the literary festival here, and it's called the Singapore Writers Festival, which is one of the few festivals that proudly puts on its sleeve its multilingual heritage. So being able to kind of come back to the first love, program and look at how you can support Singapore writing, but at the same time expose Singapore audiences to the world of wonderful literature out there, I think was very gratifying. And from then on, I moved on to different portfolios, and now I'm currently the deputy of the council. The government has been very strong in its support. So in terms of supporting the arts financially, giving beautiful spaces for arts groups and artists to put out their work, to present to the audience, but also spaces to create work. I think there are very, very few arts scenes in the world which are independent of grant funding from the government. Arguably, those are the totally commercial art forms, which if they can survive commercially, like Bollywood in India or pop music in America, then you don't need that kind of state support. But our expectation is that the state funding would not be the full kind of support, because we expect that companies also think about their audiences. How will they engage the Singaporean or tourists that come to Singapore for ticketing income or for sales or for programming income, and to think about it in a very active way. So it's important that the audiences have a stake in the arts as well. So it's not just the state saying that this is good arts for you, like your daily vitamins, but that the public says, oh, this is an arts company in the country that I live in, I like the arts, I will support it. That, I think, is the kind of co-ownership of the arts that I certainly would like to see in Singapore. The Arts Council actually supports a lot of interesting Indian groups here in Singapore. Among them are Bhaskars Academy and Apsaras, who are practicing Indian dance. And we also organize an Indian music competition regularly. And these are all platforms for us to celebrate, the beautiful art forms from the different ethnic communities. It's also interesting that the art forms are not just speaking to the Indian community in Singapore or the NRIs in Singapore, but actually to a larger audience. Certainly in Singapore, we would like to see more non-Indians understand what Bharatanatyam is, or to be able to experience the beauty of Carnatic or Hindustani singing. And I think that's the power of the arts. It also gives you new understanding. So we continue to support these art forms and these companies that have been championing and practicing these art forms, but we also want them to think about how they can reach to a broader audience. So for example, if you are doing a play in Tamil or Hindi, or if you're doing a play in Mandarin, we will always encourage the theatre companies to have subtitles or surtitles, so that someone who doesn't speak that language can access the theatre as well. At the very end of the day, if it's really good theatre, as we all know, it's universal. You can access it. It's no different from watching a film in a foreign language, which we all have. So we want to actively encourage that.